the Rangers did what they had to do at home, a winning homestand, 4-2. And now they go out on the road. We'll talk about it all next on the DLLS Rangers podcast. All right, guys, welcome into the DLLS Rangers podcast presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use the code DLLS at your first checkout, and you'll get $20 off. Everything is going well with our friends at Game Time. A lot of buzz today in the DLLS Sports Studios in downtown Dallas. Glad you're here. I'm Jeff. Joseph is over there. We're working another show for the week, one of 3 we have this week. And right off the top, before we get into anything else, we're going to talk about a little tease, if you will, a new DieHARD membership, new levels. We got 2 levels. We'll get into them a little bit more, 2 different price points, trying to get more people involved, different levels, depending on how much stuff you want. That's cool. So we'll talk about that more after the 3rd segment, and we're looking forward to that and getting all you stragglers out there who haven't signed you up yet to go ahead and sign up. So, yeah, we got that coming up. But first, we're going to, recap the weekend. The Rangers went 2-1, so they won the series. They had a winning homestand. They're rising in the playoff standings. You wouldn't have believed it the way the offense played, but hey, did just enough. But before we get to all of that, we're going to do just the facts.
That's the fact, Jeff!
Yeah. Let's start with Logan O'Hoppe. Logan O'Hoppe was added to the roster Sunday morning. Jared Kelenic was DFA'd. The Rangers are trying to get every ounce of offense they can, and they don't have a ton of options with the trade deadline passed and the free agent pool a little meager. So Mr. O'Hoppe, who did pretty well during his time at AAA, came up. No word yet on how much he's going to catch, but the Rangers are going to carry 3 catchers. 3 catchers. So, see how that goes. Jack Leiter is likely pointed toward another rehab assignment, rehab outing on his rehab assignment. Skip Schumacher wanted to see the bullpen, which was Saturday. Didn't get an update on that. Jack is fine physically. This Thursday's outing for Frisco. He described it as grindy, so he kind of battled. He's trying to get his mechanics back in order and all that stuff. So another one, maybe get him, into a 5th inning before they turn him loose. Now, I was saying that about Cody Bradford as well. Cody Bradford had performed much better and had had more rehab appearances, but maybe, just maybe, they find a spot for Jack without another rehab assignment, though it doesn't seem that way. Josh Young, he's doing stuff. It's just coming along very slowly, as he said. Faster than it was, but not as fast as he would like. Skip Schumacher said 2 more weeks, at least, without Josh Young as he builds up, and they need to play this one cautious, right? They need to play this one cautious. Jake Berger was able to play yesterday, even though he got smoked Saturday in the left wrist by a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. It hit him in the exact same spot where he had surgery in the offseason. He said you couldn't have put a bigger bullseye on it. It hit an exact spot, but he was okay. Sunday morning, the Rangers had prepared for him to go on the injured list. They had brought Alejandro Osuna from El Paso, and because Osuna's played some first base in AAA in addition to practicing there with the Rangers. So he would have been, I guess, the replacement, but he wasn't needed. So I don't think he traveled with the club. Looks like he'll probably go back to Round Rock, along with Ben Peoples, who was also in town yesterday in case of a bullpen scenario, but the Rangers rolled with who they had. Speaking of Berger, I don't know if you guys were at the ballpark yesterday, but it was Down Syndrome Awareness Day. Jake, his daughter Penelope, was born with Down syndrome. I guess everybody's born with Down syndrome. It's not something you just acquire or catch. Anyway, it was a great program. You know, the in-game stuff was really, really good. The videos that the Rangers showed were very good. So hats off to the Rangers. Hats off to the Berger family for what they're doing for those folks with Down syndrome and the families. And pretty cool. And Jake said there were a lot of first-time baseball fans, first-time Rangers fans who came out to the ballpark. So pretty cool deal. All right, so to the field we go. Again, since our last show, the Rangers played 3 times, and they won 2 of them. So that, again, a winning series, a winning homestand, upward movement in the playoff picture. Despite an offense that doesn't seem to want to score consistently, they were shut out twice on the homestand, and then they had another game where they were shut out for the first 9 innings. That game was Friday when Mackenzie Gore and Reed Detmer squared off for like the 3rd or 4th time this season. They both pitched really well, 6 scoreless apiece. And Gore, he seems to be kind of finding a rhythm here. It's been better. You don't see as many walks, which is the key for every pitcher, but especially Mackenzie Gore. Scoreless after 9, and the Angels scored 1 in the 10th. They only had 1, even though they had some chances to pad the lead, and that turned out to be pretty big. The Rangers looked like they were going to go in order against Ben Jacobs, but down to their last strike, Wyatt Langford, who didn't have a great homestand, he doubled in the tying run, and then Brandon Nimmo was walked intentionally, and that brought it to Zeke Duran to face the hard-throwing Jacobs right on right. First pitch, Zeke hit a screamer down to Guzman at third base, and he stopped it. It kind of popped up. He caught it, and then he threw to second. The throw was wide. Nimmo was safe. Rangers win because Langford scored. You know, it went down as a hit, which is curious because I thought it was a fielder's choice all the way. Error charged on the throw. So, again, it should have been a fielder's choice. Whatever, Rangers win. You figure, feeling pretty good, right? So Saturday they go in, facing Ryan Johnson, who kind of shut him down on the road trip, but still had an ERA above 6, and they lost 3-0. They had one hit, thanks to Cody Freeman, kept the Rangers from getting a combined no-hitter thrown against them for the 2nd time this season. Afterward, if you were watching the postgame show, Elvis Andrus spoke a little pointedly, probably too pointedly for the hometown broadcast, but he said he didn't think they had much of an approach at the plate. Hard to argue with that one. But anyway, 3-0. Cody Bradford pitched fine, 2 runs in 5 1/3, gave up a bunch of hits, 7, but didn't walk anybody, which is straight up Cody Bradford. Cole Wynn's had a pretty nice run out of the bullpen, so that was okay, right? Robbie Alstrom gave up a run. He's kind of leaking some fluid here. The Rangers rode him pretty hard out of that All-Star break, so I wonder if it's starting to catch up with him. Sunday, though, the Rangers won 5-3. They led 5-0 after 5 and after 7 before the Angels scored 3 times in the 8th to make it a little uncomfortable. Zeke Duran got everything started with a home run. In the 2nd inning, Logan O'Hoppe, he singled in that inning, and he scored on Cody Freeman's first career triple. Then Elias Diaz launched a sac fly, hit it really hard. 3-run inning. Nice to see those crooked numbers. Diaz started the 5th with a homer. He had a great day. He only had 1 hit, but he was smoking the ball. Brandon Nimmo added a sacrifice fly in that same inning. A couple hits each for Wyatt Langford, who needed it. He was 5 for 24 on the homestand. Corey Seager, 2 hits. Duran, and this was noted earlier by Blake in the chat, Ezekiel Duran started in center field. First career start in center field. they're just, you can't start Evan Carter right now against left-handers. Not with the Rangers unable to score any runs. You need to give yourself a chance. And so, there you go. And they face a right-hander tonight, so could see Carter back in center. Duran's going to play somewhere, obviously. Anyway, Carter did enter for defense, almost chased down a really hard-hit ball in the eighth. So that might be the way they roll against left-handers. Play somebody else in center and then bring Carter in for defense. Everybody thought it was going to be Langford, but it sounds like they're really, I don't think looks like they're really playing it cautiously with his hamstring, which came up the other day. He said he's been dealing with some hamstring soreness, but he felt Friday it was going to be a third straight DH day, but then he said, no, I'm going to go play the outfield. And he had to go pass a running test, and they let him play. So, also Sunday, Cal Quantrill, just fantastic yet again. 6 scoreless, so that gave him 13 scoreless innings on the homestand and 2 wins. Don't be surprised if he's the AL pitcher of the week. I have no idea what any other pitcher did, but it's going to be hard to beat 13 scoreless and 2 wins, just saying. Anyway, it's not just his homestand. He's been great since July the 28th. He has a 0.89 ERA over 30 and a third innings. The rotation was good on the homestand. It's why they had him winning homestand. 4 other starters allowed 4 runs in 22 and a third innings. And then Jacob Latz, Sunday, second save of the homestand. So, yeah, like I said, winning homestand. 2 wins in rubber matches, so some clutch work. And voila, the Rangers are tied for first in the American League West. Yes, Astros hold the tiebreaker, so if the Rangers are going to win in the West, they have to win by 1 game over the Astros. Seems some notes in the chat about somebody thinks the Mariners are going to win the division. Maybe. At this point, really, only the Angels and the A's can't win it. See if the Mariners can turn things around. They are 7 games below 500. That's just, you look at that and it's like, holy smokes. So we'll see how that plays out. But right now the Rangers are tied for first, and the team that is in second place in the West, so technically the Rangers here, are also tied for first in the wild card standings, tied with those pesky Guardians down there. The Rangers did win the season series against the Guardians, winning both 3-game series. So going 4-2. So if it comes down to the tiebreaker between Cleveland and Texas, it will be Texas with the advantage there. The Rangers also will have the tiebreaker over the Blue Jays. They swept 4 games from Toronto and have 3 games left. So by virtue of simple math, the Rangers will have the tiebreaker over Toronto and Baltimore. I believe they have the tiebreaker. So, nobody knows what's going to happen. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We've been saying that for weeks. The players are starting to see it and realize it and recognize that while it is crazy, they do understand they have a chance, even though they haven't played well. They will admit that. So they realize it. They just have to get going, right? So we'll see what happens. And, there's some stuff afoot in the AL West there that we'll get to. Cordua and somebody else mentioned it earlier. The Mariners, they keep throwing out those position players who get lit up. And that was twice this week, right? They lost 19-2 yesterday and lost 22-0 earlier this week against the Brewers. So not a ERA or run differential friendly week for the Mariners, but they did start their hot prospect Saturday. They won that game, though. It was more Randy Arozarena than it was Cade Anderson. But so we'll just catch up on a lot of stuff in segment 3. I was thinking about who might get fired in the West this year and have some thoughts. Anyway, that's it for segment 1. We did all the facts, and now we are going to go to segment 2. Talk about the road trip coming up. It is a beast. Not in length, but in who the Rangers are playing. We'll get to that next on the DLS Rangers podcast. Prize Picks. You've heard me talk about Prize Picks and how frequently I utilize Prize Picks. I've already made 2 lineups today, so I'm ready to go. And if you go to prizepicks.com/DLLS and make a $5 lineup, you will get $150 in free lineups if you win that $5 lineup. So what's a lineup? 2 to 6 players, and you select whether you'll have more or less in a particular statistical category. For instance, will Olivia Miles, the TCU great, who's now doing great things for the Minnesota Lynx, have more or less than 1.5 three-pointers tonight? It's stuff like that. It's all the sports. I mean, all the sports. And you can get in on the action and have a lot of fun with it. It helps you learn sports and sometimes helps you line your pocket. So that's our friends at Prize Picks, prizepicks.com/DLLS, $5 lineup. If it wins, you get $150 in free lineups. And along those lines, it's time to join the Splash Sports $500,000 Survivor Contest. Everybody knows what a Survivor Contest is if you've been watching football for the last, I don't know, seems like they came in vogue like 10 years ago, maybe longer. Anyway, it's pretty simple. You look at the schedule each week and you decide which team has the best chance of winning and you choose that team. And by golly, no, straight up, no points, straight up. And if that team wins, you advance to the next week. The one caveat, you can't use the same team twice, but there are matchups every week where you really think, boy, there's no chance this team loses. Of course, they do, but I'm already in at alldls.com/survivor. I'm already in. I'm already ready to win the $500,000, got plans for it. And you need to sign up now and make your picks for week 1. It's right around the corner. alldls.com/survivor. That is the $500,000 Splash Sports Survivor Contest. Misty, Super Chat 303, my favorite area code. Rangers bases loaded OPS back below 500, now 498. Yeah, I actually was thinking about that the other day when it happened. Evan Carter did it, right? That was Thursday. And then I'm pretty sure they did it Friday as well. It's pretty bad. And it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. But anywho. Okay, so let's go ahead and get on the road. The Rangers left last night for Chicago. We'll probably enjoy the cooler weather. Anyway, 6-game road trip starts tonight. 3 against the White Sox, who continue to lead the Central. 3 against the Brewers, who have the best record in baseball and the best run differential. But let's baby steps here. Let's go to the White Sox. Let's go to the probable pitchers. Presented by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase with the code DLLS. Here they are. Here they are. And no, somebody was asking earlier, can anybody else besides Rocker start? No. He is starting. The White Sox didn't announce their starter till late in the Rangers game yesterday. It's Jose Urquidy. We all remember Jose from his time with the Astros. That record's his overall record. Includes some time with the Pirates. He's 2-0 with the White Sox. 2 relief appearances because he only has 9 2/3 innings. So you got to have 5 innings as a starter to qualify for a win. So his 2 wins are both in relief. Jacob deGrom, was it Kelly Mann who said it was a statement start the other day? Felt like it. Anthony Kay from Japan. He's not from Japan. He came over from Japan this year, though. And then Mackenzie Gore, who looks like he's turned things around against Sean Burke, who is the White Sox ace, I would say. More strikeouts than innings pitched, low ERA, all of that stuff. So there you go. It's 3 night games. Off day Thursday. The Rangers faced the White Sox last month. Lost 2 out of 3. The White Sox can score some runs, okay? They are tied for 3rd in baseball in home runs with 174. That is 2nd in the American League. 6th in baseball in runs. And that actually leads the American League. 618. So there's the disparity maybe. Seventh in baseball in slugging, 409. That is second in the American League, just behind the Astros. Then 10th in baseball in OPS, 727, which is third in the American League. They do strike out a lot. They strike out a ton. Third most in the American League this season. They have a bunch of young guys who really like to swing the bat. Murakami, who came from Japan, young in terms of major league experience, but not necessarily a young baseball player. Both of the Montgomerys, Antonacci, their leadoff hitter, who was really a pest during that Rangers series last month. Miguel Vargas, who was an all-star third baseman, he leads them with 29 home runs. And then Murakami missed a lot of time. He was hitting the ball out, it seemed like every night there, till he hurt his hamstring or oblique or some body part that kept him out for a while. Their pitching's okay. You know, it is. Like I said, Burke, their ace, he has more strikeouts than he does innings pitched. Kay is kind of a crafty left-hander, and he had a really bad start to the season, but pitched a lot better. And then Urquidy, we talked about him. The bullpen, you know, they signed Sir Anthony Dominguez to be their closer in the offseason, and then they up and traded him at the deadline. He had lost his closer's role. But this is pretty interesting. He's one of 13 pitchers, 13 relievers for the White Sox this season to have recorded a save. That's a massive number. It's a matchup-based bullpen, 3.76 bullpen ERA, which is third best in the AL. Grant Taylor, he has 7 saves. He saved a game last week. He seems to kind of be the guy right now, at least if it's a pocket against right-handers. The Brewers this weekend up in I don't know what it's called. Isn't it after an insurance company now, like American Life Ballpark or something like that? It used to be Miller Park because of the connection with the Miller Brewing. Anyway, Brewers do just about everything well. And the good news for the Rangers. They're probably going to miss Jacob Misiorowski. He's listed as the Brewers' probable starter for Thursday against the Mets. The Rangers are off Thursday. So a lucky break, I guess. Still trouble for the Rangers, though, because the bad news is that they could face 2 lefties. Now, so no probables have been announced for the series, either team. But if the last time through the rotation, the Brewers went with Logan Henderson and then Shane Drohan and then Misiorowski. Drohan's a lefty. So they could go with the first 2 and either lefty Robert Gasser or Kyle Harrison. Kyle Harrison is pitching tomorrow for the Brewers, and he's way better. He's 10-3, 2.84 ERA. So he would be on normal rest Sunday for the finale if they wanted to go that way. But it seems like they do like to work in an extra day for the Miz and maybe even for Harrison, who is a young pitcher. The one thing the Brewers don't do well is hit home runs. They have the fewest in baseball. Best record in baseball, 81-50. Best run differential, 161 runs on the plus side. And they are last in baseball with 120 home runs. So it's weird, but refreshing. They are 5th in baseball, which is 5th in the National League, with 650 runs. 3rd in baseball, 2nd in the National League in batting average at 254. 2nd in baseball, 2nd in the NL in on-base percentage, 337. 20th in slugging percentage, 396. So they beat you in a lot of ways. And power isn't necessarily the first one, which, again, is kind of refreshing in this day and age. So this is going to be a tough one. The Rangers are 29-37 on the road. The good news is, at least they're not playing any AL West teams on the road, or they're terrible. So we'll see how that goes. But Skip Schumacher, I asked him the other day about the importance of winning at home, which is vital and of the utmost importance for a team that hopes to contend. He said, I'm losing sleep over the road record. I don't understand it. It's the same process and schedule and routine and work that they do on the road when they're as at home as on the road, and they just can't do anything right on the road, it seems. And he's not wrong. Outside of that Toronto Cleveland road trip at the end of June, it's been pretty meager on the road. So the first road trip was pretty good to open the season. 2 winning, 2 at Philly and 2 at Baltimore. So the Rangers need to figure this out, and they need to figure it out quick. Not a lot of games left. What do we have? 31? Yeah, 31 games left. Tough schedule coming up. The Rangers still have to face next month the Rays. Not fun, though it's at home. They have to go to Seattle, which I think Benny is already saying is going to be a problem. And then they are at home for 9 games, against the first 6 of which are against the Red Sox, who are very, very, very good, and the Blue Jays, who are right behind the Rangers in the wild card standings, then the Mets, and then they finish at the Twins. So it is, and they have the Diamondbacks on the road too after that Mariners series. So I just named the whole September schedule. It starts with the A's actually, but anyway, what do we got the rest of this month? This is tough, right? White Sox, Brewers on the road. How are they going to do it? I'm not sure. I guess the good news is against the White Sox, they didn't see Burke, but I feel like they have some knowledge of Urquidy, at least those who have been around for a while. Kay, they did see. He's left-handed. You'll be curious to see if Duran is the center fielder on Tuesday against Kay, or if it'll be Langford if his leg is feeling good enough. I don't know. It's not new. The ballpark, it's not Comiskey, so I guess it's new. But it doesn't seem like a huge ballpark, so maybe a smaller ballpark, and they feel okay with Duran covering both caps. Not sure, but I do not expect Evan Carter to face left-handers for as long as the Rangers are in playoff contention, which could be really until the end of the season. So, well, if Carter does play against right-handers, he's got to do better against them too. It's the bunt hit he had. Was it Friday or was it Saturday? The one where he dragged it down the first baseline. Great. Skip Schumacher said that's got to be part of Carter's game, not just against lefties but against righties. He's so fast that it can be a weapon. Now they've got to be really good. These are good defensive players. It's got to be spot on and make it. These guys have to make tough throws and things like that. But Carter is fast, and again, a very, very good center fielder. Possibly a Gold Glove finalist. Maybe he'll win the Gold Glove. I mean, it's that good. But it's just the offense is just been a drag on the offense overall all season. He got hot there for a little bit at the end of last month and the start of this month, but cooled off pretty steadily. And I know I keep talking about him and beating him up. It's not fair, but it is what it is, as they say. Will Evaldi make it back by the end of the year? You would think so. The last we heard, what was that? Wednesday, Friday? I can't remember. I don't know if I mentioned on the show or if we got it after the show. He's been throwing plyo balls, so weighted balls. He's trying to get, I did mention it because I had to do this. They're trying to get the arm fully extended because it's the posterior elbow thing and maybe it's catching right there. They got to get it all the way straight. So I don't know where that stands. I'm assuming he's going to travel because that's just the kind of guy he is. You hope he is, and you hope Jack Lester, come on, rarities. You hope his bullpen session went well. We did not ask Skip a follow-up yesterday. That was our fault. Also did not see Jack throwing it. So we'll see if some news comes out of Chicago today. No, I'm not there, but I think Kennedy definitely is going. I think Evan's going too. So we'll have to check the news front there. I can also text Jordan Teague and Skip, and they'll usually answer and give me some good information. So Anyway, let's go on to the third segment, which is going to be kind of a catch-all to catch up on your questions and to tell you a little bit more about Logan O'Hoppe, who seems like a pretty good kid. We'll do that next on the DLS Rangers podcast. As we just discussed in that last segment, the Texas Rangers are out of town all week. However, they come home. They always come home. They're coming home August 31st to play the A's. 3-game series at Globe Life Field, and you can get tickets from our good friends, Game Time. They're our presenting sponsor. They do the pitching probables. They do so much for us, and they want to do a lot for you. If you download the app and use the code DLS, you get $20 off your first purchase. Back to those Rangers ticket prices. How about $8? $7. Matinee on Wednesday the 2nd, $10. That's all in pricing. You download the app, you find the game you want to go to, you click on the seat map. It's going to have a lot of different bubbles with number prices in it. Click on the number, you see your seat view. And again, that is all in pricing. And our friends at Game Time want to help you get to a baseball game. Download the app, $20 off your first purchase with the code DLLS. And then nothing quite satisfies a Rangers victory or washes away a bad loss like the things that our friends at Juno's Liquor can provide, serving DFW since 2014 at their 3 locations, Arlington, Keller, Las Colinas. They want to help you have the best time you can have, the nicest party you can have, the best nightcap you can have. Whatever it is, Juno's can help you out at their smaller boutique shops where somebody is there to help you quickly, promptly, loaded with information, and it's still a very, very good selection, even though they are these smaller stores. So go to Juno's Liquor. They're our friends. They're wonderful people, serving DFW since 2014, and if you tell them that you heard about them on DLS, you'll get 10% off your order. All right, guys. This is kind of a catch-all segment because there's a lot of catching up to do and some things that you guys keep bringing up. And I was going to get to all the minor league stuff, Benny. So we'll get there. We'll get there either now or later. But yes, all that stuff is coming. But yeah, Logan O'Hoppe, who was one of 3 guys who showed up. I'm guessing they're all on the same flight. I don't know why they didn't take the same car, but anyway, they came from the El Paso. They had been removed, O'Hoppe and Osuna, from the game Saturday night. Peoples obviously didn't pitch. They show up, no word of whether they're going to be activated or not, though O'Hoppe was going to be, regardless of what happened with Jake Berger or the reliever, who we still don't know who it was. You know, if it was Cole Wynn's out of options, so I don't know that they would have wanted to make that move. Maybe somebody was ailing. Jacob Junis did not pitch yesterday in a spot where Jacob Junis usually pitches, so maybe that had something to do with it. But in any event, O'Hoppe is here, and we did get a chance to talk to him. You know, he had been traded along with Chase Silseth before the trade deadline. It was after the second game against the Rays on that road trip at the end of July. The Rangers sent Angel Arredondo. What was he in? He was in low A, and now the Angels think he's going to save the franchise. Cool. Anyway, instead of adding him to the roster, the active roster, Logan O'Hoppe, the Rangers sent him to AAA. And pretty funny talking to him yesterday. He said he was very excited to go to AAA. He was very honest, very, very honest, admitted that he's been struggling. He'd been struggling, and he didn't outright say bad things about the Angels, but he said that the losing had caught up to him, 4 years of losing, and he just wasn't himself. He said he didn't like the dude in the mirror. Seems like a good guy, so maybe something was going on there. But what had happened was he mechanically wasn't doing well at the plate, wasn't contributing to wins, wasn't contributing to preventing losing baseball. The defense needed to be tuned up too. So he was glad, excited. He used the word happy. I think he said excited. He said it was needed. So, hey, he realized that things weren't going well. Gave him a chance to reset himself. and he said he would have felt a lot of pressure had he gone straight from the Angels into a new situation where he's expected to produce. He's fired up. He said he got a spark back. He's happy to go to the ballpark every day. And the Rangers coaches and the AAA staff wrapped their arms around him, went to work right away. He didn't get into detail about what was fixed because he said it would have taken all day to describe it. So sounds like a lot of work. First pitch he sees yesterday against his old team, he singled into left field. So I'm sure that felt really, really good. But yes, happy O'Hoppe, Curdua, very clever. And he does have some pop, Kelly Man. He ended up hitting 3 home runs for Round Rock in his time there. 20 RBIs. Had a nice game Friday night. 0 for 2 Saturday before they pulled him, but he homered and doubled Friday night. So he's trending the right way offensively. He hits left-handers well, and then with the left-handers coming, including Kikuchi yesterday, who he faced, and again Anthony Kay against the White Sox, and then maybe two against the Brewers. There we go, Brewers. Had to get it out. Maybe that is one reason why he was the choice. So we'll see how it plays out. Again, the catching, they aren't sure how much he's going to catch. And it depends on how it looks. Skip Schumacher said that it had gotten better and that the last game he caught was really good. And I don't know where Skip gets all this time to watch video, but he does. And he said that the last start, the defense was the best since O'Hoppe had been traded. So if he's in a good spot there, then maybe you'll see him receive the ball a few times. I know people are antsy about Danny Jansen, who had a hitless homestand. He went 0 for 3 and struck out a lot. First 3 games off the IL, maybe you give him a little grace. Elias Diaz had a great game yesterday, and wouldn't mind seeing him behind the plate again today, though Jansen and Rocker have a pretty good rapport. Janet, is it true that the Rangers have O'Hoppe now for an extra year because of when he was brought up instead of earlier? Possibly. I don't know how all that stuff works out. It wouldn't surprise me if the Rangers did that. And I don't know if, like, yesterday was the first day. So maybe they did that. It would look kind of, crappy if they did do it. And maybe he'd have something to take to arbitration with them if you want. I don't know. But anyway, he's here now. And, this is a guy who hit 53 home runs the past 3 seasons, not including this season. So 25, 24, 23. He had more than 50 home runs for the Angels. Might have been 52. But the point is, the kid can hit for power. He's built well. He looks like a linebacker. He is not afraid of the gym or leg day. He can hit the weights, and the hope is he can hit the long ball here, and that he's in a better place. He said he's not a finished product. Nobody is, but he just seemed very happy to be with the Rangers, and no, it was not lost on him that he was facing the Angels, and I think it kind of gave him an additional spark to face the team that, again, he didn't have anything bad to say about him, at least not on the record. No, I don't know. I didn't talk to him off the record, so maybe he trashed him to somebody else. But he just was very happy to get out of there. And even Chase Silseth, after Silseth arrived in Houston after the trade, he met the team in Houston. We talked to him. He's like, yeah, O'Hoppe's going to be really happy with the change of scenery. So, going from a losing situation and a hopeless situation, at least for a season or two more going forward, you got to think that the chance to be in a playoff race, even though it's not exactly the 100 meters here, this is more like some terrible race between bad teams. Some long grind. I don't know. I have to come up with a name for the race here. But he's here and he's happy. And so the offense, though, needs obviously could really use a lift. They were shut out twice on the homestand. A third game where they didn't score in the first 9 innings. They had to go to extra innings. It was nice to see 5 runs yesterday. It was like, what is going on here? So who turned on the spigot? And they scored a ton of them, 5, a ton of runs. And they needed all of them because the bullpen, Peyton Gray, who went out for a second inning, Tyler Alexander, who has worked a lot and had worked Friday. And again, we don't know why Jacob Junis didn't pitch yesterday. But anyway, here are some of the numbers that Rangers hitters had on this homestand. You may want to wince. You may want to duck and listen to these numbers. Jake Berger, 1 for 15 on the road trip. That's not very good. Not good at all. Let's see here. Evan Carter. Evan Carter did not have an at-bat yesterday, so he hung around at 3 for 16, which is a 188 average. Elias Diaz, all right. Elias, 3 for 8, nice. Ezekiel Duran did have a good homestand. He did have a good homestand. He's coming off a little bit of a down period, at least for him. Yesterday, 1 for 3, so he finished 8 for 20 on the homestand. That is a 400 batting average. He homered, matching his career high for homers in a season. He's at 14 now, so you're assuming you're going to break that one. He did have the walk-off single Saturday. Foscue was 3 for 11 on the homestand. Cody Freeman was interesting because he was not somebody who was subbed out, and maybe that feeds into the Nicky Lopez line that you guys are on there. Anyway, Cody, he had the triple. It was against a left-hander. Cody was 1 for 3 yesterday, which left him on this homestand 5 for 13, so above 300 there. He has a 3-game hitting streak. Like I said, Jansen was 0 for 9. Wyatt Langford, hey, he had 2 hits yesterday, right? He had 2 hits. He had the big hit Friday. He was 2 for 3 yesterday. He did draw walks, but still 5 for 23 on the homestand. Not good. Nicky Lopez, 0 for 6. Brandon Nimmo was 2 for 23 on the homestand. Okay, he hit the ball really hard. That sacrifice fly yesterday, he hit that ball really hard the other way. Look, Jock Peterson didn't have a good homestand. Now, Jock is kind of dealing with irregular playing time because of all the lefties, and he's not playing. He's been pinch hitting a lot. He was 0 for 12 on the homestand. So what's the common theme here? We've had one guy who's actually been really good. Logan O'Hoppe, 1 for 2, so he's batting 500 on the homestand. Corey Seager was 2 for 3 yesterday, so let's make him 10 for 23 on the homestand. So a couple, a homer, a couple doubles, singles, just him hitting the ball and getting on base is very, very good for the Rangers. He is now 23 for 72. No, 24 for 72. That works out pretty easily. That's a 333 average. Since coming off the injured list, he played all 3 games at shortstop over the weekend. I thought he'd get a DH day. Maybe he gets one today. I'm not sure. But if you're going to play Zeke in center, Corey's got to play shortstop. So be curious to see how that goes. But as far as Nicky Lopez, I know you guys want to get rid of him. All right. It's not been very good, but who hit the key sacrifice fly Thursday? Nicky Lopez. Who plays really, really good defense? He made the key defensive play in that game. Nicky Lopez. And then just apparently the clubhouse presence is phenomenal. And I think the Rangers will continue to keep him around. It's okay to have a veteran guy on the bench. Nicky Lopez is a veteran. He can stay ready. The results aren't there. I get it. But he's not, he's not the one who's absolutely killing the Rangers here, right? And then it's like, oh, well, what about Cam Cauley, who Benny pointed out was the PCL player of the week? Cam can play outfield, sure. Right-handed hitter, sure. So he has some good things going for him. But I don't know. I think he's down there for a reason. I think the Rangers want him to continue to develop and get some more feel-good going before they recall him. But it wouldn't, anything can happen. anything can happen. Maybe Lopez is a guy who gets moved out if it keeps going the wrong way. But again, I think the other stuff that we don't see is what happens, and is why he's with the team. Okay, guys, that's it for segment 3, which I'll be honest, I completely made up. All right, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the new DLLS DieHard plan. We're going to do that right after this on the DLS Rangers podcast. All right, as promised, we got a new DieHard. We're redefining the DieHard, the new DieHard membership. For us, there are 2 levels. 2 levels. For a couple other markets, they have 3 levels. Hopefully, the 3rd level is coming here soon because it includes tailgates. Hello. But DieHard level 1, $36 a year. All right? It's for the fans who want more of our content and community. So everything we write, you get access to. Yes, you get behind the paywall. The DieHard dashboard and the DieHard Discord lounge. You get all that for $36, or, as the sign says, $3 a month. Yeah, I mean it's pretty easy. It's nuts and bolts. It's read all of our stories and hang out in the DieHard. So what do you think? DieHard Pro, it's $80 a year. So it went up a penny. I hope you guys can afford that. Now the Pro is for the fans who want to take DieHard to the next level. Beyond content, there's some tangible benefits, savings, and perks throughout the year. Okay, so you get the DieHard Discord Lounge, you get all of our content, and then free annual t-shirt, one a year, 20% off the store, discounts on our events, the NFL Draft Guide, which is a $49.99 value, early access to the DLS app, which apparently is coming to a app store near you, $200 in partner perks and discounts, and then the DieHard Report, a quarterly perks update. We will be bringing back the newsletter here soon because you guys wanted it. So by God, we're going to deliver it. There's a cost-friendly way. Well, all right, $80 is very cost-friendly. $36 is super friendly. And if you don't use the other stuff, okay, just get $36. But anyway, there are 2 new levels. Go to alldls.com, check it out, and let's get you guys signed up. Everybody who's not signed up, you can now sign up for a minimum of $36. And if you want to push the envelope a little more, say you're a big NFL draft guy, you like our shirts, boom, get level 2, $80 a year. Pretty easy. That's it. That's our stuff. There's the DLLS DieHard Redo. Check it out. All right, a couple snarky comments here in the chat. When are they going to finally bring up Mike Olt? I like that one. Stars at night. Jeff high on Lopez, low on Carter. Not high on Lopez. I'm just telling you why he's still on the team. All right, let's go ahead and get to what's it called? Batting cleanup. How could I forget? The one I did the most work for, batting cleanup. Let's go to that. Yes, you guys are correct. Cameron Colley was named the Pacific Coast League Player of the Week for his efforts last week at El Paso. He was very, very good. So was Round Rock. They had a great weekend. Round Rock won all 3 games at El Paso. Colley hit 4 home runs on the week. So that's pretty good. He was 2 for 4 Saturday. He hit a 3-run homer yesterday and an 8-0 win. And somebody mentioned Anthony Veneziano because he started, tossed 5 scoreless innings, left-hander. Man, he could probably help a lot of teams. Maybe he has an out, maybe he doesn't, but he's been fantastic. His ERA is below 2 since he's returned from Korea. So, yeah. Interesting, on Friday, Adam Macko, the left-hander acquired for Josh Smith, he allowed only 3 hits and 3 scoreless innings. When he was acquired, the Rangers said there were 2 paths for him, starter or reliever. He's only been a reliever in the majors, but they aren't. They're kind of willing. They're keeping their eyes open. They're open to all possibilities. Big game for O'Hoppe Friday. And then Josh Sborz, scoreless inning. He's the winner. Good for him. Glad to see him back. He's got that ERA below 8. Baby steps. And here's a bonus old friend alert. Bonus old friend alert. Jose Leclerc. He joined El Paso this week. Didn't do well. He allowed 6 runs in 2 innings. But I'm glad he is back and throwing after shoulder surgery last year. I've known Jose a long time. He is a good person. And, hey, he's forever a legend in Rangers history, at least, on the 2023 team. So, good for him. Glad he's back. Okay, Frisco. Terrible week. They went 1-5 against Wichita, and the one was yesterday. So they had to win yesterday to avoid a 0-6 mark at home. Dylan Dreiling extended his hitting streak to 16 games with a 3-hit, 3 RBI performance. Rafe Parrish drove in 2. It's those two neck and neck for the minor league player of the year, Rangers minor league player of the year. Yason Morabel, 3 hits. And this game for Sebastian Walcott could be encouraging. 1 for 2. All right. 3 walks. Hey, 4 runs. So maybe he has picked up some more selectivity. Rarities of the question, what happens to players who arrived yesterday thinking they were getting called up but don't actually get the call-up? Well, I think they were probably told, you may not be activated. You may just get to come here and hang out. I would assume they got some major league pay. I don't think they had to pay for their own flights. I'm guessing they got to eat the food for free and all that stuff. So, anyway, Galaga champ, Better Call Mako. That's a Better Call Mako joke. Okay, I like it. Yeah. Anyway, Malcolm Moore on what day was it? Saturday. He homered in the loss. The Buffalo, Arturo Disla went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Aiden Curry started that game and got 2 outs before he was removed. He had thrown 35 pitches to that point because of 3 walks. Hub City on Friday lost 6-5. Another weird one for Caden Scarborough. 5 runs in 4 innings. So he allowed 8 runs in his last start in the 5th inning, 4 perfect innings, then 8 runs. Anyway, 5 runs in 4 innings, no strikeouts. That's the weird part. No decision. Assuming he still ends up in Frisco before the season ends. Just a couple of oddball starts for him. Hickory, man, Hickory is rolling. Now, Delmarva's terrible, but they beat Delmarva all weekend. I think they just lost 1 of the 6 games this week. Moises Morales, 6 scoreless innings. He had pitched, his last outing had been for Hub City. Jake Barbie, all right, 19-year-old, got the save in that game. That was his full season affiliate debut. He was the 2025 12th round pick out of high school in North Carolina, I believe. Saturday, Jacob Johnson allowed a run, but it was unearned. So he still has a 0.00 ERA in low A, 10 low A innings. Dewar Tovar, 3-run homer in that one. He's got 16 homers this season. So Barbie and Johnson. Johnson was the 11th round pick last year from Pearl River Community College. Then Barbie. So a couple young guys making some noise, I guess. And don't forget, check out this week's DLLS Rangers Weekly podcast episode with Evan Ciari, the Hickory pitcher, who 8th rounder in 25, Mississippi State. About the most polite kid I think I've ever interviewed. Just super nice. His dad was a Marine, and listen to him talk about why he believes in being a good teammate. Goes back to his youth when his dad was deployed and how his family would lean on other military families. So pretty cool talking to him. Some AL West news. Dana Brown, as a lot of you mentioned, he's out as Astros general manager. He was in the final year of his contract. He wasn't going to get renewed. Didn't do much of the trade deadline to help the Astros position. They got Dalton Varsho from the Blue Jays, but that was about it. And then had a crappy homestand against the Angels and the A's. Hey, the Rangers know how you feel. So yeah, this is kind of what I was going to talk about, thinking about who might get it here in the AL West, front office wise or manager wise. The A's already jettisoned their guy, David Forst. The Angels already got rid of Perry Manassian. Looks like John Mozeliak is going to hold down that job if he wants it. I don't know that he would, but he was the one who orchestrated the trade deadline. So that leaves Jerry DiPoto, who's not going to get it, and then Chris Young, who I think some people want to get it, but I don't. I think that will be on hold. I just think with the lockout, and I think somebody mentioned this too. Let's say it goes into like March, like it did last year, and then all of a sudden, in 4 days they're opening up free agency, and you're going to spring training. You probably want the guy who has working knowledge with the team. All About Sports Zone, Nico Harrison in as Astros as the GM. Ha ha ha. His first order of business is to trade Alvarez for an aging Max Scherzer. I like it, Sports Zone. I like it. Our number one villain, Nico Harrison. I did vote for him first, too. So, on the managerial side, are any managers going to get it? Well, Joe Espada, who's currently the Astros manager, he is in his last year of the contract, so like he's going to get 86th. He's been fine. I don't know, fine. I mean, probably everybody in this division should get fired, right? I mean, if we're being honest, and Mark Kotsay, should he get fired? Maybe, but he's without like his 5 best offensive players right now, and they play in that crappy ballpark. The Angels, Kurt Suzuki, I think he only had a 1-year deal. So what's going to happen with him? Dan Wilson's the one, but consider this. The Mariners played more baseball last year than they ever had. Maybe he rode the whip too hard on guys early on. I don't know. Cal Raleigh's been terrible. Is that the manager's fault? I don't think so. So, and then Skip Schumacher's in his first year. He's not going to get it in his first year. So I anticipate that I don't know if any managers are going to get it other than Espada. Anyway, all right. Old friend alert. We got another old friend alert here. We actually are going to mix in a couple along the way. John King, the former Rangers draft pick and reliever. John King, I was thinking about this, might be the first guy I remember them drafting coming off of Tommy John surgery. Anyway, John King got designated for assignment by the Marlins. Good numbers, but in reading about it, apparently his velocity's down this year. Good dude. Really, really good guy. Used to live down by me. I'd run into him at the grocery store all the time. Injury report, Mariners placed Brendan Donovan on the 7-day IL concussion. He got hit in the head Saturday in the batting cage while warming up for a game. Old friend Patrick Wisdom took his spot. All right. Yankees reinstated Cody Bellinger from the injured list, which is good news for them, but they lost Ryan Weathers to the IL with a flexor strain in one of their starters. It sure seems like the flexor strain has been a very popular injury this year across baseball. I mean, both Rangers catchers had it, crying out loud. Jalen Beeks had it, have to have surgery, so we'll see what happens here with Ryan Weathers. The Blue Jays reinstated Vlad Jr. from the concussion IL. Dodgers are going to be without Andy Pages, their center fielder. 4 to 5 weeks, broken hand. He got hit by a Bubba Chandler pitch Friday. Dodgers are planning to reinstate Tyler Glasnow from the IL on Tuesday. A lot of Diamondbacks notes here. Michael Soroka to the IL with shoulder inflammation. They reinstated somebody named Dre Jameson. Never heard of him. Zach Littell was DFA'd, a brief stay there. Old friend Gerardo Carrillo. He showed up in spring training a few years ago, Rangers spring training, blew out, so they had to fix his arm. He pitched last year for Frisco and Round Rock, mostly Frisco, and he was a minor league free agent and ended up in the D-backs organization. Speaking of those Diamondbacks, Ketel Marte, he went had his misadventure in Boston, not showing up. Then he went home for an MRI on his knees on the restricted list. and he's getting treatment at the D-backs minor league facility in Scottsdale. It's called Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Really nice facility. Anyway, Talking Stick. What is that? Well, it's a casino owned by Native American tribe, and their big casino is right across the highway from the Diebacks facility. And guess who was spotted there gambling the other day? Ketel Marte. Not a good look. And of course, the Diamondbacks downplayed it and all that. Just get rid of the guy, for crying out loud. Okay. We are out of time. I'm sorry about your comments there. What did DFW videos say? Leclerc gave up a homer to Max Wagner, walk-off homer. Tears in his eyes. Man, I hope he gets it back too. CY is handcuffed. What would happen in 24 and 2025 when they spent $240 million plus? I don't know. Anyway, that's it for the show. We're already a minute over. The Star Show has started. Go check him out. Craig Ludwig is back in town. I'm going to go home and take a nap and then wake up and watch the Rangers game. Actually, I'll wake up before then because I got to get the kids and get them to places. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. We're back Wednesday at 1 o'clock. We'll have a couple games to break down, and we'll do it all on the DLS Rangers podcast.
That's the way baseball go.
We all silly like the mayor.